Hello, and welcome to the Living Lamb's Vegan Kitchen. And today I'm making a soup that my husband and I are eating a whole lot of right now because it's really, really tasty. It's a potato corn chowder, and it's creamy and delicious and doesn't have any added fats or oils or even nuts or anything like that, but it's wonderful creamy. So here's how I make it. So first of all, what you'll need is a potato, around a pound. You can use a couple small potatoes, one big potato, but approximately a pound. And onions, mushrooms, corn. I'm using greens, but you don't have to. You don't have to use anything extra. Miso, pepper, mustard powder, turmeric, garlic, and vinegar, which I don't have any of right here, and I'll have to get it later, but vinegar. And so basically, we're going to start. You make it an Instant Pot. It's really easy. What the nub of it is, you cook it all, and then you blend half of it, and then you add the blended half into the unblended half. And there you have your creamy soup with some potato and corn pieces. So that's kind of how it all works. So 2 cups of water in the Instant Pot, and then about a cup of corn, and I'm just using frozen corn, throwing it right in there. About half a cup of mushrooms, maybe a cup, somewhere in there. Oh, those are onions. Onions. And then about the same mushrooms, about half a cup, maybe a cup. If you don't like mushrooms, you don't have to use them. I didn't used to use them, and somehow they crept in. And I use them now. And then just take your potato. This potato's already cooked. Because you know when you get your potatoes home from the grocery store, they can get kind of greeny on you after a while. I just sort of steam them off first so they don't. So this is actually a cooked potato, but you can start with a raw potato if you want. You might just want to chunk it up into a few extra pieces. And you could even dice it up if you wanted to. And then after that, I'm going to put my greens in. And the way I put my greens in is I put the little trivet from the Instant Pot, and I put them in their own bowl, and this is about 3½ cups. I set it right here. And you can cook your greens along with the other vegetables, but it will simply change the only difference is it'll change the color of the soup in the end. So if you don't want to change the color of the soup in the end, if you want it more like a whitish yellowish, then cook your vegetables, your greens separately. But if you don't care, then you can cook them right in there. And put the lid on. And even though that's side above the top, it still works. I'm going to cook this for 15 minutes. And if you have a raw potato, if you've got it chunked up, 15 minutes will probably still work, but you could probably go 20. Okay, so that's going to be cooking for 15 minutes. And then when that's done and cooled off some, I'll show you how we make the rest of it. Thanks so much for watching. See you soon. And welcome back. And so this has cooked and cooled down, and so I've got the potatoes there, and I've got the greens here, and they've cooked down some. And so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put basically half of it into the blender. Sorry, there's 2 things to clean up this time. It's always a drag. So I'm just going to put one of the potatoes in there. Well, one half of the potatoes, one of the potato pieces. And then I'm going to put about half of the corn and mushrooms and onions. And I'm just going to leave like about half of it in the Instant Pot. It's just approximate. You could do this in a food processor, but you have to really make sure that you blend it well, because maybe I blend a little more than half. Anyway, doesn't much matter. You can do it in the food processor, but you have to make sure you run it long enough. Otherwise, you get little teeny corn bits, and you really want the corn to be creamy. Okay. I should say to become creamy. And then I'm going to pour basically all the liquid in, or most of it. Alrighty. And while that's blending, I'm going to cut this potato up. So I won't be talking to you because of the huge noise. Oh! My husband just whispering miso in my ears, because I always forget the miso, and I almost forgot. In fact, I forgot all the seasonings. Okay, so I'm putting a big teaspoon of miso in there. Let me rinse my fingers off here after handling that potato before I handle other stuff. About a teaspoon of vinegar. I'm using red balsamic. about half a teaspoon of garlic powder, about a quarter teaspoon of turmeric, about a quarter teaspoon of mustard powder, and then about 20 grinds of pepper, which is probably 1/8 of a teaspoon or something like that. But you know, if you like more, use more. Okay, so now, thank you again. I'm going to put the lid on, and I'm just going to run this on smoothie. And while that runs, I'm going to cut this potato up. So stand by. Okay, so that's run the whole cycle, and it's very creamy. And so now I've got that blended, and I've got the potato cut up in here with the rest of the bits. And I'm going to add the greens, and of course the greens are optional, and you could use a different vegetable if you wanted to. Broccoli would be really, really good. I wouldn't cook the broccoli all that time in the Instant Pot. You may not want the broccoli that soft, but maybe you do. It's kind of good that way, so like that. And then all I'm going to do is pour this one blender into here, and you can see how nice and creamy it is. And both the potato and the corn are what make it really creamy. Then I'm just going to mix it all together. And now what you have is a very, very beautiful potato corn chowder. And it's again, the potatoes and the corn make the primary creaminess of the soup itself. And then you leave some of the bits in. And there it is. And I'm not going to taste it for you because I really think that's weird. I've decided because it can't help you at all. But you can see it. And it's a beautiful soup, and it's extremely delicious, and I hope you try it. And if you do, I hope you enjoy it. Thank you, everybody, for watching. And take care, and I'll see you again next time. Bye-bye.